muscle cars, just the pinnacle of American culture. Just loud V8s, big blocks, very loud exhaust, boxy looks, and super sick names. And this thing is no exception. I'm sure everybody has at least thought about, or at least really, really wanted to own a Firebird of some sort. And this one is the holy grail of Firebirds. The one that stands among the other flock. The one that just shines. I know it, you know it, we all want it. You can't deny that either. Thing's got a speed of 6, handling of 4.5, as many American muscle cars have, acceleration of 5, a launch of 6.1, a braking of 4.2, rank D 431, rear-wheel drive, and more. The good old 45,000 cliche rears. Now, you know the thing about muscle cars. They're fast and they're cheap. And they're very, very fun. Are they great at the track? No. But you don't buy it for that. And you know that. Everybody does. So stop acting like it's supposed to do that. Now, considering the fact this is a sweet, sweet, super sick color or special edition, I'd say, it only really comes in this color. But hey, you don't really need another one. You don't really need a different color. Would this look good in white? Maybe? I don't know. But I guess an ignorance is bliss type of thing is just good for this. Because I can tell you right now, this thing looks sick with the black and gold going on. The bird up here. And I'm not one to really like a ton of American, like, I'm not American, but like flame designs and stuff. I'm not really in all that. But it's just like this is what I'm talking about. This is sick right here. We're about to hear that sick V8 because I'm taking this thing for a test drive. Now, one thing you have to remember is that this car is like no other. No, it's got no altering suspension. It's not lowered on air or anything. So it doesn't want any of that. It's not about any of that. This thing just looks sick. It has a big old V8 inside of it and can go really fast in a straight line. And honestly, what more could you want? What more could you want? Especially you're living in an area where it's just a bunch of straight lines. This thing will do pretty nicely. Now back then they had these little, I don't know what the whole thing is with these skinny exhaust. I think that's all they really had to work with, which would make sense considering the fact this was way back then. This car is a bit old, actually. Quite a bit old. Matter of fact, the Pontiac, the Firebird itself is just very, very old. In fact, they don't make the car anymore, and it's been about, what? 22 years since the car was last made. So, yeah, that's something to think about. This is just very different from a lot of the performance cars I've usually just tested and reviewed. It's not, super slick. It's not super curvy and elegant. It's just like, man, shoot, give me my bear and send me on my way. Yee-hoo. And you gotta appreciate that sometimes, you know? Hey, you can't tell me that people don't have a muscle car face. You can't sit up and tell me that people just sometimes don't like a good old muscle car that they can just throw down with. Shifting gears, hearing that V8 scream. Like, come on now. You can't tell me you don't love to hear that. Ooh, almost ruined me. You kind of scratched up my paint. Shoe doggy. You know how much this thing was? Of course you don't. Even if you just want to like cruise on the thing, you can definitely do that. I wouldn't really say this thing is much of a cruiser, but it's definitely fit for that. Yeah, I think they made, I don't know if they made it in this design, but I do know there was a convertible one. Definitely like the newer ones, like the 2000, 2001s. There are convertibles. Not a big convertible person myself, as I just don't like the look of it. Kind of just ruins the smooth lines or just the overall structure of the car. But what I do like is, I do like target tops, because it's not too over the top with the convertible. So, target tops are like that sweet spot I would go for. Me, personally, I'm not suggesting that anybody get a target top. If you don't want a target top, if you like convertibles, that's completely fine. And don't feel bad about liking convertibles. Convertibles are cool for many. And matter of fact, I haven't even ridden in one, so I don't really know what it's like to have my wind blowing in the hair going 60 miles an hour. But it's just from a looks perspective. I am not a big fan of convertibles. There are very few convertibles that I actually like. Very few. I like the look of, but all in all, I'm just not a really big fan of convertibles. So, yeah. But, I mean, if you like them, that's cool. There's nothing wrong with that either. Cars are for, like, you know, you're supposed to buy the car you like. You're not supposed to buy a car to fit somebody else's, you know, to fit somebody else's wants and needs. It's for you. So, if you like them, by all means, enjoy that top down, dude. You don't need a road to have fun with this thing. Now, this would be one thing I just would not suggest you take out in the winter. This thing, as being as old as it is, it will not survive at all. I'm telling you that right now. Heed my warning, folks. If you ever plan on buying a car like this, or a car this old, do not take it out in the winter. It will gather rust and you will not get it out. I'm telling you that right now. Because, yeah, this thing, it's not really low. There's another thing as well. But it's just, it's made of just like a lot of steel and a lot of just like, you know, big metals and stuff. Kind of where, as to where modern cars would be built with, you know, a bunch of other materials. Like I know some Mercedes vehicles are actually built with, certain plastics and stuff, and certain like carbon fiber. So, you know, those may deal with rust better. I don't know. Don't quote me on that. I am not. I don't actually know that, but I'm only thinking that it would. But as with these cars, where it's just like mostly metal, just like steel and stuff. Even the exhaust pipes, like those are just straight steel. And that's, if you are wondering why a lot of classic cars are louder, it's because of that. They're like literally just steel exhausts, or just straight. You know, they're not like faked or anything. They're not fake exhaust tips or anything. They're just straight pipes right there. Not straight piped, but straight pipes. They could be though. Which that would even make my point, or that would make even more sense. But yeah, this thing's a Firebird. Just want to see it fly. Oh, yeesh. You want to see a real muscle car do its work. Yeah, the thing kind of gets off the air. It gets up. Get out of here, you darn tractor. We don't care about you. Scoot out of the way. Big old block V8 coming through. I am losing to a tractor. Man, that's embarrassing. I very much do wonder what this car would look like if it were still being produced, and like what an electric version would look like. I think it would be cool to actually bring, if, you know, I'm not saying it would happen, but if somebody were to bring this car back, you know, if GM were to bring this car back in any way, to, you know, as like an electric version, I really do wonder what it would look like. I think it'd look pretty sick. That's just me though, but yeah, I feel like it'd be pretty cool. Ouch. Gosh, diggity darn it. Don't tell me my thing was clunking now. Come on, pay 45 grand. Oh my gosh, this thing's wrecked. When it comes to classic muscle cars, there's just a thing that you love about them. It's just a reason you can't take your eyes off of them. And there's always something to commend them for. When it comes to classic legends, well, you'll just go on for hours.